Good morning, this is Bill from the Upside of Downsizing. What you're looking at is a table that we bought when we first moved to this area at a local thrift shop, and we just kind of liked the price and liked the shape of it, and our intention was always to use it somehow outdoors as like a picnic table. It has two drop leaves on it and kind of interesting turned legs. It was cheap, so we figured, we know it's not in the greatest shape, but we figured we could repurpose it somehow, either with chalk paint or maybe sanding it down and putting a marine spar varnish on it or something like that. But in the meantime, I've been using it as a work table here in our garage, and it's getting time for this now to move out into the yard. The weather's nice. We have some beautiful shade trees that we can put this under and enjoy some evening time at a table outside. So what I'm going to do is I've cleaned the top with a mineral spirits just to kind of evaluate all the stains and all the defects to see what the best course would be as far as trying to make it look acceptable. Painting is obviously always an answer and would cover up all the imperfections, but if I could figure out a way to make it look good and maintain that wood character, I think that's the way I'm going to want to go. So let's see what we can figure out. So it's getting dark, but I decided to try to get a quick sanding in on this table that I showed you earlier. I started off with an 80 grit and then went to a 150 grit, and as you can see, there was some pretty bad staining on the wood. It's really visible in the video. It's not quite as visible in person. But the plan is to use a dark walnut, I should say, sorry, a dark oak stain, and then polyurethane. And I'll probably, instead of going to the trouble of sanding the legs, I'll probably paint the legs a dark brown or a black to give it a little contrast. I just completed the second coat of stain, and what I did was I used a chestnut colored stain, and I chose that color to help camouflage some of the imperfections. When you look at it closely, I don't know if you'll be able to catch it on the video, but there are small stains remaining from its previous life, and I was just looking for something that would kind of even it out, camouflage the imperfections, and make it look a little bit nicer. I think it turned out pretty well, so I'm going to let this second coat dry, and then I'm going to hit it with some satin polyurethane. Okay, because of the threat of rain and also the wind, I'm working inside our garage. And what I've done is I did apply one coat of a polyurethane and then let it dry thoroughly, and I just rubbed it down with a triple-aught steel wool. The grain was raised, and you could feel a little bit of a tooth on it after the polyurethane dried. So rubbed it down with steel wool, got it smooth again, and then I'm going to now apply a second coat. What I'm using for polyurethane is from Minwax, and it's called, let me get it so you can read it. It's called Wipe On Poly. It's a clear satin, and I just like using it because it's actually no more expensive than polyurethane that you brush on. It's a little more convenient for us out here because I can apply it either with a rag or even with one of these shop towels, these blue Scott shop towels. I like those. I like these ones from Scott because they're real soft. Some of them, the ones you get at Harbor Freight, are real hard and just kind of crunchy almost. These are very much cloth-like. Anyways, I can apply this Wipe On Poly with those blue Scott towels and then just throw it in the burn barrel. Anyway, so the table is now prepared for a second coat of polyurethane. Now I'm going to get started on that. So that took me all of about 5 minutes to apply that coat of polyurethane. Wipes on real easy, and it's very forgiving. And what I like about the clear satin is that when it's dry, it kind of has that hand-rubbed wax look as opposed to too shiny and kind of plasticky look. It kind of looks like furniture, so to speak, or at least furniture that I knew as a kid growing up. Things with paste wax and hand-rubbed. Anyways, I'm going to let this dry, do probably 2 more coats, and that should be it. And then, like I said, I'm going to take care of this base, and I think really what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to polyurethane it just the way it is. I may throw some stain on it. I don't know. I'll see when I come to it. You know, don't like to plan too far in advance. Just want to protect it from the element. I don't mind that rustic look. I really wanted to get the top cleaned up because you saw the before picture. It was kind of nasty, and I do want to make sure that it's protected because it will be out in the elements. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment box below. We appreciate you watching. This is Bill from the Upside of Downsizing, doing something a little different, showing you how I restored this table.